Welcome everybody, François Letarte, JDRD30, and this will be a ramble in English. Yes, well, I'll try to make a little more videos in English. I know that I don't make some, it's more easy for me to do them in French, and I have way more lots of you in French, so yeah, the interaction is more easy, but at the same time, most of these channels I watch on YouTube, yeah, I watch lots of French channels, but it's mostly English channels. I'm following lots of videos, lots of good conversations. It's just that it's going too fast, and I can't seem to make up my mind and make a response to all the interesting subject, I must say. So yeah, I'm a more passive listener, but a very attentive one. So yeah, thank you to all of you who are putting videos out, by the way. Yeah, it makes my listening to YouTube even more happier. So yeah, well, this will be a ramble. I want to talk to you about what I'm doing right now, the game I'm doing right now, what I'm involved in, and my impression on what I'm reading. Okay, to go fast with that, I'm involved into a True 20 campaign. I'm as a player. The game master has created some sort of a homebrewed setting with some sort of a fantasy Middle Eastern feel to it. We are in a fishing village, and so yeah, the characters we made were quite mundane characters to start with. He wanted that probably zero to hero feel to his campaign. I decided to create a woman character. Okay, the kind of woman, she's a mother of many kids, and yeah, she's a kind of a leader of the ladies of the village. Okay, the kind of a person that moves. Okay, some kind of a leadership that will move all the ladies in the village to make some changes. So that's the kind of character, and we are involved in. It's very fun to play. We're kind of stuck with the problem, which is some sort of invaders, which were kind of friendly invaders, but in the end we realized that they had more plans, more destructive plans to the people we are. So we are trying to find our way through that. So yeah, that's a very interesting campaign. So yeah, that's what I'm involved in. Otherwise, I play my Sunday group. We started some sort of an adventure using Metamorphosis Alpha First Edition. Yeah, well, my Sunday group, which was my Dark Eye group for a long time, right now we're on a hiatus from the Dark Eye, and me and one of the players were in the Dark Eye. We managed to have another group. We played some Castles and Crusades, but now the guy who ran Castles and Crusades wanted to have some sort of a break as a game master, so that's where I've suggested something different than a fantasy game. I would have liked to run Advanced Fighting Fantasy, but another fantasy game. We were already in fantasy, and the Dark Eye is fantasy, so yeah, I wanted to bring some science fiction around. So I decided to get on with that old school feel of Metamorphosis Alpha. So far we made 2 sessions. It's very fun. It's very mostly sandboxy. I've created a basic problem, and the characters are trying to get themselves around. I must admit I don't have much time to prepare. Okay, I have the ideas in my head, which are one-liners. Okay. Don't go as far as that. The little rule book, the basic rule book. I've bought the PDF from Drive-Thru RPG. I know that there's a deluxe version that got out last year by the same publishers that publishes Dungeon Crawl Classics, which seems to be a great book. But I don't have much needs in regard of Metamorphosis Alpha for now. So yeah, the little PDF of the original book is enough. It's the basis of getting what you want from it. Okay, Metamorphosis Alpha has lots of possibilities, and you have the basic on how it works on the ship and all that. So yeah, so I have the one-liners ID, and I got the players through it. But after 2 sessions, I have more IDs. That's the fun part of it. I've started with a basic ID, not really knowing how to fit it in the adventure. But with the players, what the players did, lots of IDs came out, and I'm now more able to connect the dot and find a good reason to have them in that adventure, which will be more meaty in the next few sessions. What they will encounter will make a little more sense. But maybe I don't know. It's very it's sandboxy. I let them go their way, and yeah. Right now they're stuck in some sort of a medical facility that has been abandoned because of many electrical hazards that happens once in a while, and they have problems with electricity producing giant rats. Okay, that's the sort of stuff you find in Metamorphosis Alpha. So yeah, that's very fun. Okay, my home group, which we are the one we're playing through 20, we're about to start an Advanced Dungeons and Dragons 2nd edition game. Yeah, one of the guy in the group expressed his interest into getting us into a 2nd edition game, and yeah, well, he seemed to know his stuff. So yeah, we'll let him drive his bus and get into it. So yeah, that's the first time I really read the player's handbook, not in its entirety, but I never thought that I would have read that book that much in my life. Back then in the 90s, I was hating that game. I was really hating that game. I was much more into the D6 system, as some of you may know. For me, the D6 system makes more sense than 2nd edition. But yeah, I'm older, I'm wiser, I can feel the potential and how that game works. So I'm reading it with another angle. Yeah, I can understand why I hated it, but I don't hate it anymore. It's crunchy, many subsystems to rule out different aspects of the game. If you're fighting barehanded, there are different rules with the table, with percentile, and no, not percentile, but I think it's kind of, you calculate how much the difference of success you had with your dice roll, your D20, and everything you do has some sort of a sub table. Okay, I think that's the thing that turned me off back then. Not a very unified mechanic, but I can, while reading it, I can see how I can have fun with that. And well, for me, it's a great occasion to play a mage. Yeah, I realized something in the last few years, and something that I haven't really, that has never been brought to my attention for some reasons, is that I've never played a mage. Never, ever. The closest I ever got was clerics, yeah, and I've played a Jedi in Star Wars, but never had a mage with his spells. And and when I was putting mages, when I was a game master and that the opponents were mages, I always sucked at playing them, because it's like I didn't have the experience to play a mage wisely, or with the right tactics. I always sucked at playing mages, so I decided to play a mage. Yeah. And I took, I think, a school of magic, and I've read that it was the less powerful one. Okay, usually it's more NPCs that will have them. But I'm the kind of player who will try to take the most out of it. I decided to go with the School of Magic of Abjuration, which is far than being an offensive school. And took a kit from those brown books, brown supplements from 2nd edition. I take the Wizard's Handbook and took a kit. I took some sort of a noble, which is quite funny because I have a special rule. I have a bonus to influence people because of my status, because I'm a noble. But in order to do that, every time I have to buy something, the price must be higher from 10 to 100%. So the way we rule out how it works, every time I want to buy something, the game master will roll a d10, which will tell us how inflated the price should be for me in order to keep my nobility in a way. So I have to buy the best dagger because it has been, you know, some works of art here, and it costs the double the price. Okay, yeah, that's something quite fun. Yeah, I like the kits. You know, okay, maybe I hated second edition back then, but the kits were helping with the fluff a lot. You know, it was helping to make that game to have a soul, if we would like. It's not an obligation to have a kit, but yeah, if you were taking one of them, no, it added something. At first, I didn't want to take a kit, just an abjuration casting spell, you know, mage. But yeah, when I read the kit, I said, okay, I want to try this. Yeah. At the same time, yeah, ubiquity system. I'm supposed to be in an all-for-one game, which, well, it's scheduled crazy. But I am full of hope that it will happen, because swashbuckling, since the time I want to get involved in that, and I think all the players want to get involved into some sort of swashbuckling, playing musketeers, fighting demons. And Ubiquity, I've read lots of it. You know, I really like this game. I really like this game. It reminds me of the D6 system in many ways. I think it has some inspiration from great games from the 90s. It feels like the sum up of all the good ideas from role-playing games since the start, and just put that together in a game which has a simple way to resolve the stuff, and you know, something very that passes naturally. I really do love that. Yeah, I think Ubiquity system is worth mentioning here. Yeah, I'm looking forward for that, and yeah, I really love to read that book. You know, the way it's written in the book, it feels like you are in the 17th century in France, and the sidebars are very informative about France's history. I know some of it since I've read novels from that time and read some history about that, since it's a subject that interests me. But yeah, the sidebars really sums up what was going on in the real life, because yeah, as we know it's a role-playing game, and there are demons now, so the story may change. Yeah, we may change the course of history with our characters. My character I have created for All for One is a musketeer, of course, but he's called Briscoeur, which means heartbreaker. And yeah, he's a ladies' man. Yeah, he will find his way with any ladies. I really put all my points into the charm. He just can't help himself to please the eyes of the ladies. So yeah, and my lackey, because you have, as being a musketeer, you have a lackey. I didn't choose his name, I think, but I chose him a profession, and he's a barber. So yeah, my character will always have his beard and mustache neatly trimmed, because I have the best barber in town. Yeah, so that is for All for One. What else I'm reading right now? Well, I'm preparing myself for a convention that will be held in Montreal. Well, as far as I know, it's the first one I will get in Montreal in years. You know, I've been in conventions once or twice in the 90s, but no, we don't have that number of players needed to make regular conventions. And I hope this one will make its way. It's totally free, by the way. So if you want to come by Montreal, 3, 4, and 5th March 2017, if you're watching this video before those dates, Yeah, it's totally free. Yeah, that's quite cool. It's because in Montreal there's that gaming festival week where at many places there are games being played, and that may be any sorts of game. Lots of board games, of course, video games, games for all the ages. And I will run 3 games there. I will run a Men in Black D6 game. Yeah, and this will be the Friday night. And the Sunday, I will run in the morning. I will run some Hero Kids for the kids. Yeah, because that's a great game. In the afternoon, Advanced Fighting Fantasy. These will be all games held in French, if you want to know. Yeah, so I'm there. Officially, I will be there the Friday evening and the Sunday all the day. For the Saturday, I'm not sure yet, because usually Saturday is a very busy day for me. So if I go there, I will just sit down at a table, any game, I will sit down and trying to have a good time with the game I will be presented in. I have no expectation for a Saturday. It will be a surprise game for me. So, yeah, if you want to come by Montreal by these times, yeah, that will be quite fun, of course. So, that's basically what's going on these times around for me, what I'm reading and all that. What do I think of the stuff I'm in? So yeah, if you want to respond, comment, anything, feel free to do it. So François Letarte, JDRD30, and up to next time, I hope you have as much fun in your life as in your games. Goodbye.